Good afternoon, everyone. This is Margaret coming to you with a short video. So today's video is just an encouragement to encourage people who are going through the storm as we speak. It may be already passed through. It was supposed to be today. Yes, last night. So I just hope everyone is okay, and I hope that were able to stay safe and and secure your stuff, secure your house and your documents so they don't get wet and damaged. Yes, folks, we prepare for the storm, so we also have to prepare for restoration, to restore our goods, restore our documents, restore our property. Yes, folks, we have to also prepare for that. So it's not just one part of preparing and getting food in the house, but it's very important to secure our documents. Yes, folks, for if we ever gonna, you down there in Jamaica, if you ever gonna have to receive some kind of a restoration for your stuff that are lost and damaged, you're gonna have to have your IDs to show who you are. Yes, folks. So I'm just here to remind you, if in case you didn't find where they are, where you stuck them, that you can find them and secure them. That in case there is any restoration for disaster relief, you can find your documents, folks. You have to make sure you have your national ID card available and your TRN document to identify who you are, so you can receive any money that the government has to give out in relief of this terrible storm. Yes, folks, over the years, the government has offered relief for all kind of pandemic, all kind of stuff, and some people maybe up until this day, have not been able to receive their funds because they have no bank accounts, no TRN, and no national ID card. So it's totally impossible for the government to locate and to identify people like that. So, folks, it's always important to have your documents ready. Even a passport probably would have helped. Whether you're traveling or not, it's very important that you can also have a passport to back up your ID in case you lost your TRN or your national card. You at least have a passport so they can, figure out who you are. So, folks, it's not expensive. You can get your passport ready even if you have no intention of traveling at the moment. Not saying to do it now, but in the future, I think it's a good idea for people to have their passport um, ready or updated in case of emergency like these. Where in case you can't find your national card or you can't find your TRN, you have your passport that you could use with name and address and everything, that they can at least identify you and send you some money for the relief program that may be available for these kind of emergency. So I just thought I would come to you folks and remind you about that I know it's probably crazy down there now with every water all over the place and so on. This may be the last thing on your mind about securing documents, but it's very important, folks. I was watching my tablet earlier and I saw Fox News all the way from the States was speaking to Mr. Pernell Charles Jr., and he's a minister for national security, for national, what do you call it, yeah, relief funds and all of those things, social services and all of that. So he's in charge of that section of the government, and he was saying that it's important for people to have their TRN card papers and the national identification card, because he was explaining that over the years when they offer relief funds, many people were not able to get it because the government had no way of identifying these people. Yes, folks. So that's what has been going on. And I believe too, folks, there are some people in Jamaica, even now, that are entitled to get social benefits, like the seniors. The seniors supposed to get some kind of a seniors benefit, but they have no papers to identify themselves, so they never applied. So there are several that are not receiving any kind of benefits from the government because they're not able to apply because they have no identification documents. So, folks, there should be somebody that to help these older people to get out these ID cards, national ID card, and the TRN. It's not hard, especially the TRN. The TRN, I have one. I have one. I've gone to Jamaica and I went to this tax office and I applied just in case I need it to do anything. It's a form of identification. So the TRN is easy to apply for. You just go into the tax office and you can get that. Can start there. So, folks, I hope my information is of use to somebody. And remember, folks, that no matter what goes on, no matter what is taken from you, God will always restore it. Yes, folks. I was reading the scripture earlier this week, and somehow I got to Joel 2. Joel 2. And I read until down to the verse 25 and 26. And that scripture kept knocking in my head every turn I turn. I didn't know I was going to give this message today about restoration. And as the scripture stated, I will restore the years. I will restore the years that the cankerworm and the palmer worm and all these worms have been eaten up. The Lord promised that He would restore them. So yes, folks, we don't have to worry too much, and everybody's restoration is probably different. It will come different way. But God has promised that whatever is taken from us, He will restore it. Yes, folks, and verse 26 stated that we will not be hungry. Yes, folks, even though the storm is rising and the water is rising, I'm sure a lot of you will not be hungry out there in Jamaica, because Jamaica is blessed and prosperous. Saw this lady yesterday taking in her just a lady, and her farm was so flourishing. She was taking in her much bunch of bananas and all her stuff from the garden she was reaping in. She said she's not going to leave them out there to wash away by the water. Yes, she was out there yesterday morning gathering all her stuff. She had a battle with the internet, but she was trying to show us all that she was doing. And I was so glad to see that she was able to gather up her stuff, and she was wondering how she's going to take it home. She will have to get a ride. Big hands of bananas. Big bunch. Look like 5 hands of bananas. Yes, folks. So we will not be hungry. You guys will not be hungry. And I'm sure won't be hungry up here either. So have a wonderful day, and I hope that you enjoy this little video. Stay blessed, stay safe, and we'll be praying back over Canada here. We will be praying for you down there in Jamaica, that you restore your stuff. The fishermen boats, most of them are probably already secured, and they will have it to go back out to sea when the weather is changed and settled down. So have a wonderful day, have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and stay safe. And I hope everything goes well with this, that the water level is safe. Keep your children in, folks, so they don't go wander off and get washed away in this heavy waterfall. Have a wonderful day. Stay blessed until I hear you again with another video. Bye-bye.